The day, like yesterday, armed robbers from Bari to Jere, kidnappers and armed robbers stop the road. What is the distance between here and Bari and Jere? That some few elements can stop the movement of goods and services and people. And the trailers, they barricaded the road from Kaduna to Abuja. Throughout, which kind of, there was no gunman. Because if there is gunman, when anything that happens like this, somebody will never even dream of doing it. Because he knows that he is going to be apprehended and he is going to lose his life.
Because, Doctor, we are trying to see how we can be able to, streamline some of the, and explore the fact that agencies, security agencies must begin to work together. The issues of a national security, you may begin to interpret it in many angles. So it takes the fact that all hands must be on deck. There's a need for that. And many times they have been holding such a security council meeting, reviews of the internal securities and all of that. We are still having issues of banditry in some areas, kidnapping, terrorism, and all of this. These are the factors that is making our roads not to be safe and protected, farmers not to return to farms, and all of those issues. How can they begin to work together? Is it the fact that it takes the political will to make such give us such an instruction? Because when you look at the issues of locations, we've seen the fact that from a budget, we've been investing in our security. Are they not properly utilizing some of these locations to that sector? What is the problem?
Number one problem, which you know, is corruption.
Corruption has many faces.
Yeah. What I mean is that why all this money that has been spent, why can not they prove it? They have been spending our money and we have not seen the result, and we are not asking, and we continue to be giving this money out every day and night. And that is why governors are frustrated. Like me, I came from Katsina, and that is why my governor tried to set up his own team that will fight the banditry. But they are not armed, and they are few, and the land is vast, and he doesn't have enough money to withstand that. Because people, as I'm talking to you, people have no confidence in the police, and they have no confidence in the army. That is the worst part. Because if you don't have confidence in your security agencies, which means that that is the collapse and the beginning of collapse of a country. Because everybody is on his own. As far as there is no law and order, nobody can talk and nobody can give order. So that is a problem.
So sometimes they receive order and it is not being effected, or they have limitations and all of those instructions they receive.
You see, number one, which I told you, corruption. Number two, bribery within the security agencies. Third, there was no any functional who is to do this. We have it on paper, but as you call it, synergy. Yes, but who report to who? Who will be held responsible for not doing what he is supposed to do? Who is responsible for this area? Let's say I'm in this room. Who is responsible for this room? Anything that happened in this room, who will be held responsible?
So they must begin to pick responsibility for every action.
Yes. The government is not serious.
The IG, Inspector General of Police, have recently called on Nigerians to support them, to collaborate with them. They're trying to see how people can start giving out the information. And this also brings issues of whistleblowers. What is the protection to whistleblowers? What is the situation about information gatherings and intelligence gatherings and all of those things? Do you feel that the people also have a role to play in rescuing this situation?
Let me tell you, the IG is not serious. Completely. It's not serious.
He told Nigerians that he would do the job immediately when he got to the office.
No. You have to wait till when whistleblowers come. At this century, is that the way a serious person should talk? We have satellites, we have drones, we have spy planes, we have so many things that you can be able to detect and point out where the dark spot is. And where is the special forces? In every local government, we have DSS. In every state, we have DSS. What are they reporting? Then what is the Nigerian army? What is the role of the military intelligence? So when you look at it, the more you look at it, the more you see these people are not serious.
Because when part of the agenda of the president was that fact that he's going to do a whole lot in security, and he came in and started changing and injecting some of the security chiefs. And we're expecting that. You understand the importance, of security. Do you feel that these men have not done their job perfectly well and there's a need, to change patterns or hands? What are the issues? Because we're seeing high rates of kidnapping these days. Some of our doctors and students were recently kidnapped, coming back on their way to service have been kidnapped, placements and requests of ransoms and before they can release them. These are the issues affecting many, many Nigerians as we speak.
Up to now, what I'm saying the same thing. We are in 21st century. And in this century, you don't need anybody to tell you, I have seen American, they were able to view, or I can say Ukraine, they are able to view what is everywhere in Russia. And they were able to hit their target. They didn't send anybody. They didn't have any whistleblower. Science, engineering, and technology had made it so simpler and so easier for us that we can be able to track these people before they strike. We can be able, wherever somebody go, we can be able to track him and apprehend him. But if you say you are going to do it in the pre-Stone Age, that people has to come to tell you, then you look as a very unserious person. That time has passed. You have to use the technology, the engineering, and science to achieve your goal.
All right. Recently, we've seen that the president, of course, it's a known fact that the president can't do all of his job alone, and that's the reason he has made several of these appointments. The ministers have ended just a year in office, and there have also been a concern of trying to help the president in, resolving many issues and challenges we are facing in this country. From your assessment, does it look that the ministers we've had under the president, the Minister of Defense, all the ministers you can mention have properly delivered, their bits, underscoring the fact that they are the drivers of the renewed hope agenda of the president?
So you are talking of performance. That is true. The president and his cabinet, they perform far too below expectation. The ministers can only work if they are given the resources to work.
From the locations to the ministry is not enough?
Well, this is what I'm telling you. We have been seeing that, and they have been telling us there is no resources.
Then they probably should
But
resign.
lack of resources does not mean you cannot work. If you are a competent person, there is a way you will do a financial engineering and engineer a lot of projects and many things to happen and introduce new programs that will jig-jag the country, that will make the country rolling. But very unfortunate, most of the people that were brought up, I can say,
All right, let's get to have a break, and once we return, we'll complete the conversations analyzing the issues of national security and underscoring the importance of the role the ministers and every of the appointees of government, the intelligence officers and the security chiefs in rescuing the situation of our security for a better Nigeria. Do stay with us on the program. Many thanks everyone for still staying with us. I still have Dr. Ibrahim, a trader, former ADC candidate in Katsina State gubernatorial election. Thanks so much for still staying with us. As we begin to wrap up, the ministers and the appointees of the president ought to have the president so far in working, in delivering. People are saying we are hungry. People are saying nothing is happening in the government. People are saying, the situation in the country is getting worse every day. Do you feel, I understand the fact that you said they have not been well empowered, but there are also room where they can navigate, idea implementation and paying attention to what must work for the country to start working right now.
You see before the president come to power, a lot of people even like us, we have confidence that when he comes, he can perform miraculously, and technically, using his experience and using modern techniques. What I mean by modern techniques is applications of science and engineering to solve solutions. But very unfortunate, the aids he has, there is a lot of issue, or I can say a lot of them are very incompetent. So, and that is all I can say, because when you look in all the ministries, what are you seeing that is new?
So there's a need for the president to make some changes so far.
Yes, there is a need for him to make some changes. He should know that he is the president of Nigeria. He is not the president of APC. Yes, and even within the youth that were brought in as ministers, you see them, they lack the competency. Because let me tell you, for every minister to be in the ministry, for him to understand the ministry, it will take him at least 18 months to 2 years before he will understand how the ministry is. So for us now to judge them in a 1 year, we can be able to judge, because in my language, they say a Good Friday starts on Wednesday.
Thanks so much, Dr. Ibrahim. A good Friday obviously start from Wednesday. Thanks so much for that submission. Well, it is for national good and for Nigeria's development. A whole lot is on the president's table. But while we are expecting a whole lot on the president's table, what should other appointees begin to do in order to relieve the president of some of this pressure? A concern about the issue of security, of ministerial performances, and all of that. It is a concern because right now the country's economy is seeking for help, and it takes a whole lot of our hands to come to the table. Food inflation is on the high side. Let our farmers begin to go back to farm. Let our people begin to see food to eat, so as the country can remain peaceful in order to address the issues of national security. Well, that's the size we are having tonight on the program Big Talk. A whole lot of concern will arise again on the program tomorrow, where we'll be taking a look at all the political issues and state governance in respective state in the country. Thanks so much, Doctor, for finding time to join us tonight on the program. We deeply appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that's where we wrap it up. See you again tomorrow. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.